If you're a farmer, land manager, or property owner who's struggling to get spraying done because of timing, wet ground, access issues, or simply not having the right equipment, you're in the right place. My name's Josh from Swift Drone Solutions, and we help people get crops and land treated properly when traditional methods just aren't practical. The reason I started Swift Drone Solutions was simple. I kept seeing situations where crops, paddocks, or land were being put at risk, not because people didn't care, but because they couldn't get the right solution at the right time. Ground rigs couldn't get in, helicopters weren't available or didn't make sense for the size of the jobs, and delays often meant lost yield, poor results, or unnecessary stress. With nearly a decade of professional drone flying experience, I saw an opportunity to offer a safer, more reliable, and more flexible option, especially for farms and properties here in Gippsland. One example that really sums this up was a vetch crop I sprayed. A farmer contacted me because heavy rain was forecast. If the crop wasn't treated beforehand, it would have been destroyed. A crop worth $150,000. His agronomist advised that spraying before the rain would save it, but helicopters weren't available at such short notice, and the paddock was only 20 hectares, which made other options impractical. I was on site the next day, and I got straight to work, applying the product exactly as advised by his agronomist. The job was completed within the day. 3 weeks later, the farmer called to say the heavy rain hadn't affected it at all. He was harvesting successfully. He's since booked me again to spray his turnips and maize crops. Another great example was a job for a quarry manager who needed weeds controlled in his pine plantation and along his multiple access roads. He'd previously used a ute-mounted sprayer but wasn't happy with the results, particularly having weeds marked pink with dye and not having clear records of exactly where spraying had occurred. With the drone, there was no need for dye. Every flight is GPS recorded, and at the end of the day, the provided flight data showing exactly what areas were sprayed. Within the first week, he could already see results, and he was extremely happy, not just with the outcome, but with the clarity and confidence of knowing precisely what had been treated. I've also worked with farmers who needed crops fertilised but simply couldn't get machinery inside the paddock because the ground was too wet. In one case, a turnip crop needed fertilising urgently, but a boom sprayer would have caused damage or become bogged. Drone application allowed the job to be completed without any ground impact, keeping the crop on track without any delays. And it's not just large farms. I've helped lifestyle property owners as well, including one acreage that was heavily infested with caterpillars. The owner couldn't manage it on his own. The property was too large for a quad bike, and the infestation needed to be dealt with quickly. I sprayed the entire area using insecticides, and after 48 hours, the caterpillars were gone. What all of these jobs have in common is flexibility, precision, and timing. Drone spraying allows us to access areas that are wet, hilly, or difficult to reach, apply products accurately and consistently, work at smaller scales where helicopters don't make sense, minimize crop damage and soil compaction, and provide clear records of what was sprayed and where. I work closely with agronomists and follow strict safety and compliance processes to make sure your crop gets exactly what it needs. Fill out the form to request a callback to see how we can help your property needs.